Have you heard of Zapier, but you still haven't had a chance to check it out? Hi, I'm Patti Scharf, CPA and partner at Acuity. Today, I'm going to talk about what Zapier is and why we use it here at Acuity. What is Zapier? Zapier is basically the glue between one app and another app. It is a connection that goes between the two so you can transfer information from one place to another, or you can create actions that start here and then go there and then do this other thing. So it is basically automation, but you don't need to be a programmer to use it. If you're somebody who is constantly entering information in multiple places, or doing repetitive tasks, or asking yourself, isn't there a better way to do this? Zapier is probably the app that you are looking for. So how do we use Zapier at Acuity? We use it in a lot of different ways, but it's always for automation purposes. There are lots of times when we have workflows, for example, using Process Street, which you can go check out my video on Process Street right there. But we will have workflows that people on our team will use. Let's say it's client onboarding, and they want to pull in information that we've already collected, but we don't necessarily want them to have to go to multiple places to go look for that. We'll add some automation to our workflow that will use Zapier to pull information from another source and populate it into the workflow that our team is working on. So it makes it really easy for them because they don't have to be popping around to different places. It makes it better for us because we're pulling in the same information. So there's no chance of people entering, typos and things kind of are obliterated. They just don't exist because we're using the same information over and over. So the thing is with Zapier, because they integrate with over 7,000 different apps, you're really only limited by your imagination. And you can actually, if you know how to code, you can do coding directly within Zapier. If you don't know how to code, you can do the basic things that the systems are set up to do, which will handle most of the things that you're trying to do, in my experience. So over the last year, so I just kind of pulled the screenshot and looked over the last year. Over the last year, we've had 44 different apps connected, and we've had 447 different Zaps connecting those apps to automate nearly 600,000 tasks that somebody, a smart human, used to have to do, but now the computer's doing it for us. So this is the power of Zapier. So I do want to give you a short little tour. I already did an introduction to Zapier video, but it was like 6 years ago. You can check that out here. Zapier looks a lot different and it has a lot more functionality now than it did back then. So I just want to hit some of the high points with respect to that. The first thing I want to show you are all of the kind of, I'd call them lipstick changes, where the functionality is the same, but it just looks different. So in this case, you can see now they've got paths, which I'm sure they didn't even have paths back then, where you're walking through this automation and you're doing this, that, and the other thing. And then if it's this situation, it goes down this path. If it's a different situation, so on and so forth. So it'll just kind of give you a visual display of what it is you're trying to accomplish. If you were to click into any of these boxes, you still see kind of the same information under the hood as far as telling the system what to do. Another one of the lipsticky kind of, but not really lipsticky changes is the folders. So now they have folders. I think they had folders before, but now they have subfolders so that you can organize your Zaps in a better way. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yep, see over here on the left-hand side, now it'll list all of your different folders. If you click on one of the carrots here, it'll expand it to show you the subfolders. So that's really convenient. Some of the other new features that Zapier has are tables, interfaces, chatbots, Canvas. I'm going to blaze through them a little quickly because I don't use them, but I can tell you what they are and why you might want to use them, particularly if you're just getting started. So for example, tables. Tables is like the equivalent of Airtable. It's a database, and I did a video on Airtable that you can check out right here. But if you don't have another system, you can build that information where you need your single source of truth to live, it can live right in Zapier. Interfaces is a tool that you can use to create forms, to create landing pages, to create basically that interface with the world that helps collect information, and then the information will then be stored in tables or where you tell it to. Chatbots is another new feature where Zapier is taking its integration with AI and helping you to create an actual chatbot that you've customized for your own purposes. So I see a lot of potential for this in the future. And then they've got Canvas. Canvas is a way where basically when you are creating your workflow, your end-to-end workflow, if you want to see it visually, you can use Canvas to put all the different pieces and parts on one screen that you can share with other people, so everybody can kind of get on the same page with respect to what the workflow actually is. All right. And the last thing I want to show you was just this app screen. So like I said earlier in the video, they have over 7,000 apps. And so whatever it is you want to do, you could probably do it. And chances are somebody else has thought of it before you. So if you go up here to search apps and you type in, let's just use like Sin7 for an example. They've got Sin7 core inventory. They will give you some suggestions on what you might want to do. Let's say you want to compare Sin7 with Pipedrive. If you click on that, it'll give you some templates of things that people have already created that you might want to try out. So it's amazing how many different permutations and everything that you can come up with for doing this. I hope this gave you a taste of what Zapier is and what it can do. If you want something that's a little bit more concrete, like an example, I did do one like 5 or 6 years ago that you can check out here, where I walked through how to create a multi-line invoice in Xero automatically using Zapier. So you might want to go check that out. Also, next week, I encourage you to come back because I'm going to be pulling everything together. I'm going to show you how we might use Process Street with Airtable, with Zapier, and kind of give you a taste of how we do things around here. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, comment, and share. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you later.